Hi everyone! Today we are going to talk about a useful resource called Quixel Megascans. We'll look at all the features of Quixel Bridge in detail, and I'll explain how to install the plugin to connect Bridge to 3ds Max. I'll also cover what to do if you have trouble installing it on the latest versions of 3ds Max. Be sure to follow the link in the description and subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find a video with a collection of other useful resources for 3D models and textures for your realistic renders. First, we go to the Quixel.com. Products. Browse Megascans. Here you'll find an extensive library of 2D and 3D scans of real objects and surfaces, allowing you to create incredibly realistic images. All objects are categorized. There are 3D assets, plants, surfaces, and much more. There are also collections that contain various themed sets. I highly recommend exploring this library because it contains many interesting things that can inspire you to create an amazing work. The library is paid, but Epic Games users have unlimited access to all assets since Quixel is owned by this company. Therefore, you need to register on the Epic Games website first, and then log in here using that account. Next, we need to download Bridge. This is a program that gives you quick access to the entire library on your computer and allows you to easily import the assets into the 3D program you are using. Click on the user icon. Download Bridge. Download the exe file and install it. Go to Bridge and log in with Epic Games. At the first launch, you'll see a window asking you to select your render engine and the location for all the assets you've downloaded. They can be quite heavy, especially if you download them in high resolution. So if you have multiple hard drives, it's better to set the path to a less busy drive. If you want to change the directory later, go to the Edit tab, Settings, and select a new path. So, Bridge contains the entire Megascans library. You can use the search by categories, collections, or by name and filters. Let's go to category as an example. For instance, nature, rock, mossy, and see what's available. A green check mark in the upper left corner means the asset is already downloaded to your computer. Here you can add it to the favorites category and it'll appear in a separate tab, or download it to your computer, or if it's already downloaded, export it directly to your program. Clicking on the preview opens a preview window. Using Control, you can select multiple assets and download them all at once. In this window, we can see a preview of an object, texture maps, or 3D preview. You can expand it to full screen and hold down the left mouse button to view it from different angles. Additionally, by holding the Shift key, you can see the object under different lighting. Minimize by clicking on this icon or using Escape. The middle part of the window shows the object's size and whether it's closed or open. A closed object has a full mesh on all sides, while an open one has a hole on the back, like this object. At the bottom of the screen, you can choose the resolution of the maps and open the download settings. Here you can select which maps you need and in which format. You can also select if you need textures with different levels of detail for each LOD. For models, you can choose the mesh format, whether you need all LODs or just some. The lower the LOD number, the denser its mesh. There are also export settings. Here you can install a plugin for the 3D program you're using. We'll get to this in a minute. Then there are texture export settings for different asset categories, model export settings, and file name settings. All your settings will be saved and applied to other assets. So, let's download an asset we like. To have them load into 3ds Max automatically, we need to install the plugin. go to Export Settings from here or through the Edit tab. Choose the required software, and here will be an Install button. Ideally, everything should work after that. But in the latest versions of 3ds Max, there are sometimes issues with the plugin, and it gives an error. In that case, I suggest the following workaround. First, install the plugin via Bridge, then download the Quixel.ms file using the link in the description below the video. Close 3ds Max if it is open. Next, we need to go to the ENU folder. Open this PC. Drive C. Users, your username, app data. If hidden folders are disabled, go to the View tab. Options. Change folder and search options. View. And check the Show Hidden Files, Folders, and Drives option. Apply and OK. App data. Then go to Local, Autodesk, 3ds Max, your program version, ENU, scripts, startup. Place the MS file you downloaded here. Next, launch 3ds Max. You'll get an error window, or you can run the script yourself via Scripts, Open Scripts. For everything to work, we need to specify the correct path to the folder where the plugin is located up to the support. By default, it is installed in the same location as the Bridge Documents Megascans library. Or, if you have previously changed the asset storage folder, the plugin will be installed there. If you don't know where the plugin is installed, you can find the Megascans library folder in the File Explorer search. Copy this path and paste it before the support folder. Note that all slashes will be inverted. Make sure they are all facing the right way. Press Enter and close the window. Now close the program and save your changes. The next time you launch 3ds Max, you'll see the Megascans tab. Now we can go into Bridge. Select the downloaded object and click Export. Wait a few seconds and the object will appear at the beginning of the coordinates, and its material will fall into the center of the material editor. And I want to point out that it appears in the format of the engine you have currently enabled. When exporting surfaces, you can check this box and the material will be applied to the selected objects. For example, let's create a plane, go back to Bridge, select some surface, say this asphalt. Great, this asset is already downloaded. I click Export, and the material is applied to the plane. One inconvenience is that materials overlap in the material editor. So I activate the Move Children tool and move it to the side.
Well, I hope you learned something new today. Like the video, subscribe to our Patreon to get even more useful content on visualization. Learn easily with Soft School.